Baptist Church, most of our ministerial staffs here, as well as our Sunday school, many of our Sunday school members and my Sunday school teacher. We have representatives here from the Fayette County Development Authority. We have representatives here from the auxiliary, through my Fayette Hospital, because Gina and I have volunteered there ever since the hospital opened. Cheering section. And with that said, we're going to get into the festivities, and we will now renew our vows.
Whatever a woman would like to come in. John, if you get on this side here.
Give me the camera. Give me the...
Okay. I did that once at church. I had a couple that came up to get married just before the service was to begin. And I didn't get their names, so after the service, I couldn't remember their names, so I just said, those of you who'd like to get married, would you please come on up? And there was one man and 5 women. I want to welcome you to the 50th anniversary celebration of John and Jean. The golden anniversary is one of the most celebrated wedding anniversaries, and rightly so. Investing a half-century in a loving relationship with one person is a wonderful statement about the gift of married life. Amen. In the Old Testament, it's called the year of Jubilee. And John, since you came from the country as I did, you won't have to plow next fall. That's what you get for 50 years. But 50 years for all of us here today is an inspiration. John and Jean were married August 1964. I didn't preside at their marriage, but I could have if I had known them at that time. However, this is my second time to stand before John and Jean for the renewal of their vows. I presided at their 25th celebration of marriage renewal, and today I'm trying to get it right. If we continue doing this, John, and all of you, put it on your calendar, 2039. John and Jean both resisted going to a big dance downtown Atlanta in 1964. Jean went with her girlfriend, but had decided if she met someone, she would do no more than give that person her first name. Jean looked over, and what did she see? John staring at her. He soon asked her for a dance, and came back again and again and again. But finally, John said, "My name is John Bruce Woody." Is that right, Bruce? Woody. Later, John asked for her phone number, and Jean said, "Well, if you want it, you can look it up." Which John did that night, as for Catholic sense. John called for other dates, and they were married 7 months later by a Christian minister in East Point, while Jean's daughter, Mary Lynn, and Catherine Creel decorated their car rather than go to the wedding. And Mary Lynn became buddies with John because John won a foot race with her. Mary Lynn realized that she couldn't outrun him. That's a background of how they started. But most of us have shared much of the journey of their life in marriage. We've observed their devotion and love for each other, which is an example of the meaning of how we are to love one another. We've seen how they have shared the strength of their marriage through church, civic, fraternal, and community service. When you have a strong home base of love, you have so much that you can share with our world. Since 1984, Jean and John have been good friends. I've shared many occasions and happy times with both of them. John and I have worked together on mission projects in 2 foreign countries, Africa and America's Georgia. John and I both came from the country, and we understand country living life. One of my favorite poems, Kahlil Gibran, gives us a great description of what it means to be married. You were born together, and together you shall be forever. You shall be together when the white wings of death scatter your days. Ah, you shall be together even in the silent memory of God. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cups, but drink not from one cup. Give one another of your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together and be joyous, but let each one of you be alone. Even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, not too near together. For the pillars of a temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow. The psalmist said, unless the Lord builds the house, its builders labor in vain. Jean, would you at this time join your right hands for this time of declaration and renewal? John, I want you to listen to the questions I'm about to ask you, hearing it completely, and then answer as you feel persuaded in your heart. John, for 50 years you have pledged to take Jean as your wife. Do you today reaffirm your pledge to live with your wife after God's teachings? Will you continue to love and respect her? Will you be honest with and faithful to her? Will you stand by her and comfort her through both good and difficult times? Will you deny yourself, if necessary, in order to assure her happiness and well-being? If so, please answer, I will.
I will.
Jean, in the same way, I want you to listen to the question I'm about to ask, and hearing it completely, and then answer as you feel persuaded in your heart. Jean, for 50 years you have pledged to take John as your husband. Do you today reaffirm your pledge to continue to live with your husband after God's teachings? Will you love and respect him? Will you be honest with him and faithful to him? Will you stand by and comfort him through both good times and difficult times? Will you deny yourself if necessary in order to assure his happiness and well-being? If so, please answer, I will.
I will.
As you stand holding each other's hands, I want you to repeat after me, John, and then Eugene. I, John, promise to Eugene.
I, John, promise to you, Jean,
My undivided loyalty.
my undivided loyalty,
And I will continue to love you.
and I will continue to love you,
For better or for worse.
for better or for worse,
For richer or for poorer.
for richer or for poorer,
In sickness or in health.
in sickness or in health,
As long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
Now, Jean, would you repeat after me? I, Jean, promise to you, John.
I, Jean, promise to you, John,
My undivided loyalty.
my undivided loyalty,
And I will continue to love you.
and I will continue to love you,
For better or for worse.
for better or for worse,
For richer or for poorer.
for richer or for poor,
In sickness or in health.
in sickness or in health,
As long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
Now it's with great joy that we celebrate with you today. I speak for those who gather, both saying that your example of a loving relationship and your life together has enriched our lives. We thank you for giving us this occasion to celebrate in a world that seems to have lost its reasons for joy. Not that you needed my permission, John, but you now may kiss your bride. May we pray. Father, for the joys that John and Jean have brought to us through the strength that they have had together, we give you thanks. And we pray today as we celebrate that each of us will be reminded that you have used the example of your love for the church as the example that we should have for each other in marriage. We thank you for this occasion and pray that you would bless all that's done today to honor you and to celebrate with them. For Christ's sake I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Now, let's give a big round of applause.
After the toast, we have a buffet. It's a buffet. We have the room at 7 o'clock. So stay and eat until the food runs out, or you have to leave, whichever comes first. Okay? And at this time, a good friend of mine named Lou Gaylor, I think he's going to come up and try to spread some lies about me.
My time to get even, folks. I do want to tell you that I'm a retired Army, and I've been around the world basically, but I want you to know that I have never in my entire life, and I'll be 81 in September, and I'm telling you that's a long time, but I've never met anyone that I can truly stand up and say are the most dedicated Christian couple that I've ever met, and that's John and Jean Woody. And I thank the Lord for them. But I do have to tell you a few things about John. First of all, let me assure you, and you probably already figured it out, they have paid me rather handsomely to stand up here.
Hope you got it up front.
As John pointed out, and I did have the honor of serving as a potentate of the Arab Shrine in 2008. With that job goes a lot of other responsibilities, you know, like who do you get to do what jobs? And I had already approached John and asked John if he would take the position of chaplain to the Arab Shrine in 2008, and he did. And what a great job he did. If you don't think it was a great job for me, let me tell you that we had 6,000 members in that Arab Shrine. And several of those came back and selected specifically John Woody to conduct the services for the loss of their loved ones. How'd he do? Great. And I went and I attended some of them myself. But he has been my friend for like the better part of 40 years. That's a long time too. Gina and I were just talking about it a minute ago. She said, that is a long time. It has been, but it's been fun for me. But I have to tell you a few things about John. In the shrine, we conduct parades, I'll let you know that. And at one event in 1972, that goes back a few years too, John Woody, I was in the motorcycle unit, big motors, what we call the big motors. And I always felt that John really was focusing on becoming a member of the big motors, Harley Davidson. But what did he do? He ended up buying a Yamaha or a Honda mini bike, on scooter type, you know. And he was in the parade and in and out, running in front of everybody and that kind of stuff, you know. And another thing, I was talking about the parade. One day I was standing outside and enjoying the cool air, and John came up, he was taking off his coat. He said, Lou, would you hold my coat for me for just a minute? I said, sure. And what he was doing, he was taking his coat off so he could cool off a little bit. And you have to realize that when I picked that coat up, it wasn't a jacket like I'm wearing tonight. It was like pulled you over, you know. It weighed probably close to 30 pounds. He had an outfit that he wore in the parades as a clown that had nothing but pins from the top to the bottom, and anything else, any place he could put a pin. And that day, it was rather warm, and it was soaked up with a little perspiration too, so it's been classic, David. But John, when he got the motor scooter, we were all sitting down at East Point in early 1972, and we're all sitting around. I'm going to say this so that it's clear. We were just jawing, but BSing more than anything else, you know. Just a group of them standing around. And John, for some reason, he decided that he wanted or he called for the lineup, and we all pulled out. And I missed John, and I looked back, and he was still back there. And you got to picture this. The city of East Point comes out for the parade. We were sweepers, and they cleaned the streets down. But on this day, they missed one block. Pretty good stuff. And John, what does he do? He jumps on that mini bike and takes off and runs right into this block, and it flips right out the street. Yeah, it banged him up pretty good. He got a broken collarbone out of it, but he survived, and he's still my friend too. That I had nothing to do with it. It's accident, you know. He thinks it with me because like I said earlier, I always expected, or he always expected he wanted to get in the big motors to start with, and I was in the big motor. Everybody's a good time. We had some good times at parades. But John, this is hard. He just had a bad spill that day, and I also took a bad spill, and I broke a collarbone too. And I told him later, I said, he's trying to mimic me, you know, that he had to come out, show off, and break a collarbone too, just because I had a broken one. I hope you get a page on that. But anyway, we've had so much fun over the years in the shrine with John, and he probably was one of the best chaplains that we've ever had in Gary's Shrine. And he's, I felt like I was blessed to have him as a chaplain. And now I'd like for us all to drink a big toast to my friend, both of my friends, John and Jean Woody, on their 50th wedding anniversary. And let's give them a big round of applause to go with all of that.
Someplace, I'm not sure. Okay, at this time, I think we're scheduled, there we go again when we're scheduled, to cut the cake. After we cut the cake, we will, go we?
Hey, John, Jim, and Carol Pitts, we're certainly thankful that we get to be a part of the celebration for 50 years. And we enjoy working with you and knowing you for the last 4 years. It's such a privilege and honor to be here today. Thank you so much.
We just wish you many more happy years on your journey together, and we just congratulate you and give you our love, and we're just privileged to be here today. Bless you.
And John, what a privilege to be at this table with other beautiful people. This is so nice. Thank you for the invitation, and most of all, I thank God for your friendship. May you have many, many more. Love you too.
Jean and Woody, have a happy anniversary, and I never will have a better chaplain than you was my chaplain when I was potentate. Thank you very much.
Woody, Harold Brooks, and Serena and Pam, we want to congratulate you on your 50th anniversary. Excuse me. I hope you'll end up catching up with us. We're having our 56th one in July this past year, and you attended our 50th, and we were very proud of that fact, and we're here to welcome you and thank you for your wonderful years of living together. Thank you for being our friend. Enjoy you very much. Thank you.
Really congratulate the two couples. They are really special people and love them to death.
It's not only been a happy 50 years for y'all, but very happy for me too.
We just want to wish y'all many, many more years, and we're so happy for both of y'all. Y'all are a wonderful couple, and you're an inspiration to everybody. God bless both of you.
We just want to wish you a happy anniversary and many more, and hope everything goes the way you want it to go.
Okay, this is Jerry saying to John and Jean, congratulations, best wishes, and many happy more.
Hi, Jean and former husband John. Congratulations on your 50th. I've had the honor of going to the 25th, and I'm pleased to be able to be at your 50th. Best wishes, blessings.
John and Jean, it's been a pleasure to know you all these years. Jerry and I love you, and we appreciate and we feel privileged to be invited to this celebration with you.
Hey John, hey Jean, we're so glad to celebrate this 50th anniversary with you. What a milestone, and what an example you've set of faithfulness and commitment. We love you, and so proud and honored that you included us in this celebration today.
Hi, Jean and John. Congratulations on 50 years. I know they have been wonderful because both of you are such a wonderful couple. Thanks for inviting us.
Congratulations, Jean and Woody, on your 50th wedding anniversary. You're certainly a wonderful example for other people. I love you, and Sam loves you too. God bless you.
John, Jean, we wish you congratulations, best wishes for another 50 years.
Jean, I'd like to wish you all a happy 50th anniversary. It's been great being a neighbor to you. I love both of you, and I hope you have many, many more. Okay? Happy anniversary, Jean and Woody.
John, you'll never know what kind of example you and Jean have set for us. I've looked up to you for your wisdom, and I wish y'all 50 years more.
John and Jean, it's been great knowing you, and I wore my lock-key pin today because I normally would wear a Delta pin in certain situations like this, but I wore my 5-year lock-key pin in honor of the fact that we work in the same common company, same common church, worship the same Lord, and we're proud of it. God bless you, and may you have 50 more if the Lord sees fit.
John and Jean, just many congratulations from Roy and I. It's a lovely day, a beautiful area to have a celebration, and we just hope that you have many, many happy days. And thank you for what you do in our community and our church.
Jean, I don't know you that well, but I've really learned to love you the last 12 months. Thank you for all you do in our county, in the school system, as well as our church. We love you, and we love you more every day. Give us what we felt you. Amen.
Jean and John, Kirby wanted to do this, but I won the toss. Hope y'all have many, many more happy years together. Love being in the Sunday school class with you, and God bless you. We love you.
John, Jean, we just wish you continued success and happiness in your endeavor. We've met you and we love you from the Sunday school class, and John, you and I as brothers. We just want to say praise for you and hope you make another 50.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary, John and Jean. JJ.
All right, how about you?
Happy anniversary.
Good.
Happy anniversary, John and Jean. Hope you have many more.
Talking earlier, John and Jean, God bless you, and our prayers are with you. Congratulations on 50 years of steadfastness to each other. You are a great example of that. We thank you for that. We love you both, right?
Yes, and we're honored to be able to celebrate this special occasion with you. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah. God bless you guys.
Many years more.
Good.
Hi, we're so glad to be here and celebrate 50 years of love and marriage for you too. Hope you have 50 more. Take it away, Al.
Jean, I'm very proud to be kin to you, and I have great memories of you and hopefully this Aunt Mary and the whole family, and I'm very happy for you and John that you enjoyed 50 years of married life. Hope you have 50 more.
Hey, Jean and Woody. Congratulations on this great milestone of 50 years of marriage. We're so proud of you, and thank you for letting us be part of it.
Neither of you look like you could be married, have been married 50 years. Congratulations.
Jean and John, thank you for inviting us today on this special day.
We are so proud of you and happy for your 50 years. Wes and I both hope we can do the same one day. Love y'all.
Congratulations.
I want to wish my brother and his wife a very happy anniversary.
Well, we would like to congratulate Woody and Jean for 50 wonderful years together. They're a fine brother-in-law and brother for her. We really love them and we wish them the best.
They are the greatest couple.
Yes, they love him. We do love him there. And he's got 50 more great years to look forward to.
Congratulations, John and Jean. Happy anniversary. 50 years is a great accomplishment. Thanks.
Anniversary. My kids and my grandkids will always remember pins and the big laugh, and it's been great. Thank you.
Congratulations, John and Jean, on 50 years. What a wonderful testimony. My kids remember pins too. My son is now working for Lockheed, and if he was here, he would tell you stories of meeting you at Lockheed with your pin suit on. So, congratulations, many more.
Jean, you know I've been knowing you since you was just a little girl. When Theron and I got married, you weren't Jean, you were Mary Jean. And I loved you and Cecil and Hoyt, your brothers, and your mother and daddy, Cletus and Mary. And I just remember all the good times we had down at Seabrook Lake. You cooking those little thin pork chops. I won't ever forget that. And I remember Woody coming down there the first time and you told me y'all were going to get married. And I was so happy for you because you had been lonesome for a long time. And I love you and I love Woody. He's always been so nice and sweet to me. And you're a precious niece. And I'll always love you. And when Woody comes up to me in church and says, Auntie Catherine, I am so proud to be that he calls me his aunt as well as you do. And I love you both. And I hope I can be around for the 75th. I don't think I'll be too old, do you? Bye.
John and Jean, just many more years, and thanks for inviting me to this great event.
And we will have our 50th in January, and it is
I want all of you to know that John and Jean Woody have paid me handsomely to sit here in front of J.W. Wallace while he records this program, or this speech. I want to tell you now, though, that John and Jean Woody are the most dedicated Christian people I have ever seen in my life. And they are two special individuals to us both. And also I'd like to tell you a few other things that will make you understand why I have decided to even sit here and make this picture to start with. And I'll just start by going back to early 1970s when John and I were in a parade together in East Point. And the city of East Point has done, as they always do, had come in and swept the streets with their street sweepers and beautified the area as much as they could. And we're sitting there waiting for the parade to start. And John Woody, whom I always felt really wanted to be a member of the big motor unit, which I was a member, and he elected to go the cheaper route and buy a mini Honda, miniature Honda motorcycle. And during this preparation for this parade, we were sitting there, and as we sat there waiting for the parade to announce for the lineup, John Woody got on his mini bike, and for some reason, the city had missed one rock. And you got to understand this, that the rocks, that city of East Point has some wide streets, and there was only one rock left in the street. And I, to this day, feel that John Woody got on his mini bike and aimed at that rock. And you know what? The rock won, throwing him off. Ending results was he had a broken collarbone. And I always thought that he was trying to mimic me, because in my nice, bright, shiny Harley Davidson, I also took a bad spill and I broke a collarbone. And so as a result of that, I also joined John in being shackled up with the straps across their shoulders. And I was trying to get even with him, or I felt he was trying to get even with me, because I had earlier broken a collarbone on my motorcycle. Anyway, it was a very sad situation. But John Woody was a member of the unit that we referred to as the buffoon unit. Now, I'm not trying to imply that John Woody is a buffoon. I'm really saying it so that you'll understand that John Woody was a very active member of South Fulton Shrine Club, and he was a member of the clown unit, which was referred to as the buffoon unit. And in doing so, John was known as a buffoon. But the biggest thing I'd like you to remember about John Woody is that he also had the name of Pins, P-I-N-S, on his clown costume. And as a result of that, he had pins pinned all over his black shirt, black jacket, black trousers, and there were pins of all sorts. And that's how he got the name of Pins, and where he got the name of Pins from. John took off that jacket one day and handed it to me to hold for him. And I took hold of that jacket, and it had to weigh somewhere between 20 and 30 pounds. Anyway, John was a good friend of mine, and very shortly I will turn 81 years old. But I'm proud to tell you that I have never met any two individuals in my life that were as dedicated to Christianity as much as he and Gene are. And I'm so proud and humbly proud to be able to refer to them as our friends, Hazel's and mine.
Happy anniversary to both Gene and John. Gene and John, we both love you so much, and the past 35 years that we've been honored to know you, you've both been great, wonderful friends to both of us. And my little story about John was when Lou and I first got married, and we met John and Gene at different dinner places. John always would go and get my plate for me and took care of me and made sure that I had food. And then all of a sudden he quit doing that, and I asked him why a few years later, and he said that he had finally decided I'd had enough to eat. I didn't need to eat anything anymore, and so he quit. But anyway, Gene and John, we wish you a very happy anniversary. We feel honored that it's been our privilege to know you over these years and share so many good memories with you, and we're just honored to be a part of your day today, and we thank you for inviting us.
And I have one other thing to say here that I think it's important too. John has been my friend a long time, and ever since I've been in South Fulton Shrine Club. And in 2008, I had the honor of serving as the potentate of Yarib Shrine. And during that time, I had to make a decision and make several appointments, one of which was extremely important to me. And that was, I had to appoint a chaplain. And guess who I selected? And it was none other than John Woody. And John Woody did an outstanding job. He did such an outstanding job that several of our members that had loved ones to pass on had requested him specifically to conduct their funeral service. And naturally, he did the same outstanding job that John Woody always has done. And I thank you and wish both of you the very best on your 50th anniversary.
Happy anniversary, John and Gene. You are a very special couple to us, and we've known you for 30 years, and it's been wonderful. I hope you have many, many more special and happy years together, and just want to let you know how very dear you are to our family.
John, Gene, thank you for giving us the opportunity of sharing in such a wonderful occasion yesterday. I join a host of friends wishing you the very best on your 50th anniversary, for giving us the opportunity to celebrate. We have too few occasions for that. And it was certainly for us a very joyful occasion, and the folks there certainly showered their praise upon you and John for your example of Christian living, but also your commitment to one another. We thank you for giving us that opportunity. We wish for you many more wonderful years together.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, help me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When my way grows near, precious Lord, linger near. When my life is almost gone, hear my cry, hear my call. Hold my hand, lest I'm wrong. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Sweet home. Yeah. Oh, goodbye, my Coney Island baby. Farewell, my own true love, honey. I'm gonna go away and leave you. Never see you any, never gonna see you any. I'm gonna sail upon that ferry boat, never to return again. So goodbye, farewell, so long forever. Goodbye, my Coney Island. Goodbye, my Coney Island. Goodbye, my Coney Island. We are all some girl that dresses me, some girl that's got big feet. We meet her on the street, then we'll join the unmarried fools to be altered, just like leading lambs to slaughter. When it's over, oh boy, we got it good. Bachelor days we then recall. Rich man, poor man, beggar and thief, doctor, lawyer, merchant, chief, we all are bound for. Goodbye, my Coney Island baby. Farewell, my own true love, I'm gonna go away and leave you. Never see you any, never gonna see you any. I'm gonna sail upon that ferry boat, never to return again. So goodbye,
Hey, why am I crying? I'm still single.
so long forever.
Now, this is your big chance, so don't mess this up.
What's the word? Goodbye, my Coney Island. Goodbye, my Coney Island. Goodbye, my Coney Island baby. May the road rise to meet you. May your wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rain